How about we have a look at some meme stocks here? I've sorted them in order of volume. Highest volume stock for Friday was Spce, Virgin Galactic. This stock has been on a tear. I don't like to chase momentum, so I'd be pretty careful with this. But we have pulled back to sort of an uptrending support area. We have our rising Keynesian line here. If price is going to continue to rally strong, I want to see it hold this line. We have some moving averages that are getting ready to cross here. We have the 50 moving average crossing up on the 200, which is supportive of a new uptrend. I like to look for pullback, so I think a pullback to the 50 moving average at some point could be a good opportunity, or to the cloud here. AMC has been consolidating after a big push up. This could continue to consolidate for some time. There's really no telling, but there's a support area here. I'm watching the flat bottom of the cloud right here is an important support area. We also see it represented by the flat Keynesian line here. The Keynesian line is starting to curve up, which indicates that price could be pushed up by it, or it could just ignore it and continue to consolidate like we saw back here. We got a lot of mixed signals here where price just traded up and down with the cloud and these indicator lines here. So sometimes these indicator lines don't help you a whole lot. But right now I'd like to see the support area hold here. If this gives in, we could see a pullback down to one of these previous levels here. Sundial. What I'm seeing here is I'm seeing some peaks in a downtrend here. So we made a lower high. We're still below the cloud. I'm not liking the technicals on this one. It looks like we did respond to the 200 moving average down here. So the 200 moving average is starting to curve up. So I'd want to see price respond down here to this 200 moving average at about somewhere around 80 cents, between 75 and 80 cents. Excuse me. We're starting to get a twist to the cloud. We twisted and turned green, but now we're back to red here. So this is sort of a sideways consolidation. There are some technical areas that need to be defeated before this can really have a good clean uptrend. And there's a lot of technical damage due to this big peak here. Neo, I kind of like this chart where we've broken above the cloud and we're above our indicator lines here. So when price holds the white Keynesian line here, this is fast momentum. So price has fast momentum right now, and we did react to that line right here with our pullback over the last 2 days. Now this momentum typically doesn't hold for forever. So I look for pullbacks to the Keynesian line here, or possibly our 50 moving average, which is curved up, and we're starting to get our moving average cross here. So these are the kinds of things to look for with the beginning of a new uptrend, is these moving averages to cross. I like to use a TK cross where the Keynesian line seen here in white crosses the Keynesian here in red. So the TK cross happened clear down here. That gets you into the trade a little sooner. So sometimes I'll take a trade based on the TK cross, and I'll look for the Tinkinson to stay above Keatinson. So right now we have Keatinson coming up pretty steeply here. It's just about going straight up here. So this trend is a little steep, so we could see some volatility. If we look at the previous uptrends here, the main thing to look for is price staying above the cloud. We finally broke down below the cloud right here and tested and reacted. Well, now we're back above it. So we do have some technical areas to watch out for that are going to create some turbulence, but not necessarily the end of an uptrend. So we're at one of them right here with this previous peak right here at 55.75 approximately, and then we have our previous top here, which is sure to cause some volatility at around $63 to $65. ZOM. I'm not really liking this chart too much, but we do seem to be finding a little bit of support here. We're kind of in this descending wedge consolidation here, and we're trying to hold this area here at about, let's say 72. Let's put it at 70 cents. So I think if you see price back down here near the 70 cents level, could be an opportunity to start a trade and look for it to hold that, because if this 70 cents support area breaks, we could be looking at coming back down to this next area of price action right here, which is down closer to 45 cents. I'm actually surprised that we didn't go there sooner. So there is some bullish sentiment still with this stock. PLTR, I'm kind of liking this chart. So what I mentioned about the TK cross, we had our TK cross down here. So this gets you into the trade earlier than using the cloud or the moving average crosses. And this is a daily chart. A 4-hour chart will get you in even sooner. So we had our TK cross clear down here at about $19.50, $20. So we had our TK cross down here at $20, pushed up to $27. So that's a good, I don't know, 35–40% gain right there. So now we've got something, a little bit of a warning flag here. On the 4-hour chart, we've dropped below the Keatinson line for the first time since this rally started. So this is a bit of a red flag here. We could see more of a pullback, possibly to the bottom of the cloud area here. So we'll go back and look at our daily chart. So we've got our 50 moving average right here. So a pullback to the 50 moving average could be a buy opportunity. Our last indicator of uptrend would be the outer wall of the Ichimoku cloud. So we've got this flat bottom here where the cloud twisted. This is our probably most favorable support area here at about 2160, 2150. I'm liking that area there. I think if price, I kind of doubt price is going to get all the way back down here, but you just never know. But the fact that we've dropped below the Tinkinson line here on the daily chart, and we even closed slightly below the Keatinson line, indicates that we may see a little bit more of a pullback with this. Tesla is, I'm seeing this sort of wedge here. Kind consolidation wedge after this huge bull run up to $900. This could be seen as a large bull flag. Price hasn't really wanted to trade much lower than this 540 mark. So we have, we're sort of getting squeezed between some technical areas here. We have some uptrending moving average lines, uptrending Tinkinson, Keeganson, 200 moving average right down here, which we traded a little bit below it, but we seem to be trying to hold that 200 moving average. Now we're at the top of this descending wedge and on top of the cloud here, so price is kind of bouncing around right here. I'd like to see a resolution. If we resolve to the upside and break out of this wedge, I think you're going to see a decent rally with Tesla here, possibly back to the previous high of 900. We've got some technical areas here around 760, 770 area. Possible reaction, pullback until we find some more uptrending support and then go up and test the 900 area. Workhorse, a lot of people have been talking about this. I'm not a real big fan of this chart, but it tends to consolidate. We had a long period of kind of consolidation, sell off, and then a huge move. Sometimes these things take off. They just go faster than you would care to chase them. So this could be an opportunity to get in right here. If you want to own this one, we have gotten above the cloud. We got this flat area of the cloud right here, which to me indicates an area of support, which we see by the price action back here. And then we had this huge sell-off, this sort of V-shape, and now we've gotten back above it. So I like to see this area hold. We're close enough to it here. I think that this gives you a reasonable area of stop loss, or sometimes what I like to do is just open a partial position, no more than 50%, and be prepared to buy more if we test the other low here. So let's see, I have XPEV. Some of these stocks I don't know a whole lot about. People talk about them in social media, so I put them on the watch list here and watch technicals. This has had a lot of momentum. I think that chasing it here is probably a bad idea. We're starting to break down just below the Tinkinson here. I just get the feeling this is going to start losing momentum here. I would wait for a pullback. We are having our moving averages cross. So there's some bullish signs going on with this here. Our lagging line here in green, I don't talk about this too much, but one of the last rules of opening a trade is you want to see this lagging line above the price, and above the cloud is even better. But what I'm seeing here is they're just overextended. This was a big move from the bottom, so this is already a little overextended. Pullback could be an opportunity. Nokia, I'm not a real big fan of this chart. Looking at the long term, it's just been in a sort of a stagnant consolidation downtrend for a long time. But if you like to trade it, we have broken above the cloud and we're trying to hold the 50 moving average here. This kind of does look like a sustainable trend rather than, you know, when you get a huge spike up like this is not sustainable. It's really a fool's game to buy something when after it's made a 100, 200% move or whatever like that. Fuel cell. I'm seeing another peak and a downtrend here. If we can react here and maybe hug the bottom of the cloud, and this begins to twist more and stay green, eventually get above it, this could eventually turn into a new uptrend. Right now I'm still seeing a downtrend. We can just picture a trend line here along these peaks. We had a pretty good peak right here. So when you get a good spike up like this, it does start to change the technicals, the future outlook here. We've had the cloud twist and turn green for the first time since this broke down here. If this continues down, this is going to twist back to red. So I'd actually want to see. So we could have sort of a V-shape or W-shape bottom here. We have this previous low, the lowest low, and I would actually want to see price react here, looking at this previous low here to act as support. I think if that doesn't act as support, this is going to continue down to at least this previous low, possibly even make a new low. IDEX. So I've drawn some lines on this chart based on a longer term trend here, based on these first spikes that occurred. Spiked way up, pulled back, huge move here, another reaction here. So I've drawn this sort of ascending channel here. Excuse me. So this line may become invalid if we just ignore it here. But if you like to trade this type of pattern, this could be a good place to open a trade based on this line, because it gives you a decent area to stop out, make the decision that this pattern is no longer valid. I'm not in favor of making this trade myself. Most of these I don't trade. I just like to watch them, analyze them, and learn. So we can look at this, some previous price action support here. Here's our lowest low to watch, and this would definitely put us outside the pattern. That pattern would become invalid there. We've got a lot of price action where price is testing right now. So I think watching this closely, if we get sort of a pin bar, a green pin bar, sort of a reversal candle here, that could offer a decent trade. What I mean by a pin bar is like we have here with this long wick. But this candle's red, but still these long wicks can indicate sort of a reversal. We had a lot of wicks right here. They're not long, but of course it's all easy to see when you look at the chart history. So we're looking for something like that over in here, I think. Something to give us an indication that price is wanting to reverse and push up. We have had a bullish twist in the cloud here, which is thin. It could go either way here. All right, plug power. I haven't been a big believer of this stock, but you can't deny the strength of this previous rally here. Huge moves here. So this still looks a bit overextended to me. I just kind of hesitant about these. We are attempting to break above the cloud here, and this area right here where it twists and we have these flat areas of the cloud, these are sort of last levels of support. Uptrending support from the top of the cloud and from our moving averages here. Right now, price is attempting to hold the red Kijinsen line here. But we've also got the Tinkinson and Kijinsen sort of converging here. I'm worried that price may drop below Kijinsen and these moving averages cross. And then we have a downtrending 100 moving average here. Things are starting to look up technically for a lot of these. But sometimes this could just be another spike in a downtrend. See, we're still, depending on how you draw these trend lines, you could speculate that the downtrend is broken. I like to look at the cloud to confirm trends, and price breaking above the cloud on the daily chart to me indicates the beginning of a new uptrend. It doesn't mean that it won't pull back again. So possibly, let's see, price could possibly roll off of this cloud here, come down, find support from the 50 MA and the cloud, and begin to push up again. Something like that. Let's see, let's draw this trend line here. So this was definitely a downtrend here, and look what happened right here at this, where we've drawn our line, we've had the TK cross. Okay, so you could consider this the break of the downtrend right here. TK cross, look for these moving averages to the Tinkinson to stay above the Kijinsen. If we do cross again going down, then we look to these areas here with our new green cloud for support. Tilray, looks like the downtrend is trying to break. Just kind of taking its time here. The 200 moving average seems to be offering some support. Coming back down near it. Like to see a reaction near the bottom of this cloud and the 200 moving average, and eventually get above this. We have a newly forming green cloud here. Like to see price get above that and start finding support from these moving averages. Basically getting above them all would be ideal, like we saw back here with this rally where price is above all of its moving averages. This is the lagging line here, so let's see where that lagging line is right now. Looks like it's right here. So lagging line is above the price, but it looks like it's wanting to curve down and cross back below the price. Our 100 moving average is curving down. We're below Tinkinson, below Kijinsen. So yeah, I'm really not liking this. The technicals in Tilray right here, right now. Possibly another pullback down here to the 200 moving average, or the bottom of the cloud here area. Thought about getting into this Snapchat, but I just didn't do it. I kind of like this stock. We had some this sort of head and shoulders top here, a break below the cloud, pushed above, sort of a failed breakout here, another failed breakout. So now we got sort of this sideways consolidation here, and we've finally broken above this consolidation area, and now we have the previous top here to contend with at about $70 to $75, $72. We had a nice V-shaped bottom right here. Cup on handle, V-shaped bottom. So I think, you know, the best opportunities really are looking for when price is just getting hammered and testing these support areas. I don't like to jump in here. I don't like chasing things like that. So I'd rather miss out than open a position in a bad place and have regrets for the next few months or year, or however long. But it does look like a pretty decent chart. BNGO. I'm not too much into this stock, but I had this downtrending line here. Looks like that's broken. We had our TK cross right here. Pushed up into the cloud. This almost looks like a failed breakout to me. Here's the flat bottom of our newly formed green cloud. We're sitting right on it right now. So I think I'd want to see price turn around right here. Or I think this move is a bust. Sometimes we end up just having to redraw our lines. Let's see. Trend line. This could be a possibility. Be nice to see price break above this. And we'd definitely be above the green cloud if we did that. So there's always different ways of drawing these lines and analyzing these things. But right now, like I say, I'm sort of seeing this as a failed breakout, so I'm not in favor of trading that right now. BB, BlackBerry. I'd taken a trade on this, which was kind of foolish really, but I was looking for this Keynesian line right here to hold. We were trying to hold, and then we closed below it. And once we close below that, we've had our TK cross. So now we have downtrending pressure. You might look for the 50 moving average to provide some support, but I'm not liking the shape of this cloud. The flat bottom of the cloud here, we've got a bearish twist that's occurred. TK cross going down. Just I'm really not liking the technicals here. Another pull back to the 200 moving average could be an opportunity, and that's clear down here, closer to $10 here. So I have to give that time and see how this irons out. I think getting in before these moves occur is the key, because you wait for something like this to happen, then it just tends to bleed off for quite a while. CCIV, tentacles are looking up here above the cloud. We're above our moving averages, so look for that to continue to stay in this trade. Last level of support for uptrending support is down here at about 2250. QS, Quantum Space. This is one that I was shorting for a while based on the break of this support area here. We had this important support area I was watching. We were below the cloud, below our downtrending indicators here. So I actually profited. I made a couple short trades on this, and I'm out of that now. I think price is starting to consolidate, possibly trying to turn around. We're still below the cloud here, so Um, looks like we may start to get a bullish twist if we can continue to make higher lows here. So right now we sort of have a slight indication of a bottom right here with this V-shape or W-shaped bottom here. I would look for that to hold. NKLA. So this was in a downtrending channel for quite a while, and we have broken out of that. So I could probably just get rid of these lines now, but so yeah, we've broken out of this downtrending channel. We've got some moving averages crossing. We've traded right down to our uptrending Kijinsen line here. The thing that concerns me about this chart is we still have a downtrending 200 moving average right here. Price is reacting to this moving average right there. So I want to see price react to these uptrending moving averages. And ultimately they should cross to provide clarification of a new uptrend. So this is looking all right. I'm not a big fan of this chart. It's still basically a downtrend. These lines can be redrawn. So let's see. That could possibly make sense. Looking at these previous tops, one could speculate that this is just another high in a long downtrend. That's why I like to use the cloud here. I look for price to stay above the cloud. Like I say, we do have our 50 moving average is curved up. So in a nice uptrend, price will tend to hold that moving average or stay above it. And this momentum was so fast right here. There really wasn't any support coming back down for that. So we pretty much retraced 100% of that move down here. You see where we started and where we even dipped below that. So pretty much 100% retracement with that. GEVO, this was looking a little bit interesting. It's starting to look like a failed breakout. We broke above the cloud. I have this downtrend line here that I've drawn on a very long-term outlook. Let's see. Well, yeah, so I look at this on a weekly chart. This thing has been in a downtrend for a long time. We have broken above the cloud in this long-term downtrend on the weekly chart. The problem is this cloud is too thin and steep to really provide a good indicator of support. Excuse me. It looks like we're trying to react to it here. This level here is going to act as resistance if we don't get above it at about 780. And it looks like it has been acting as resistance right here. So yeah, I like to see price get above and stay above that 780, 77.5 area. So yeah, on the daily chart, I drew this downtrend line here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Based on this very long-term 10-year downtrend. We just started to get way oversold. So price does seem to be respecting this. From what I see, this is kind of interesting. So that's why I have this line here and I'm watching it. DraftKings trying to turn around here. We've got a mix of bullish and bearish technicals here. We're getting a moving average cross right here, TK cross. All right, we're getting a little bit long here, so let's look at a couple more of these. Charge point has been pretty strong. So since this momentum started with the TK cross here, we've now closed below the Dickinson line, so I'm looking for a little bit of a loss of momentum here, a pullback before possibly continuing up. I keep mentioning this 50 moving average. That's kind of a sweet spot in the trend. You can see on the way down how we go up, we test that 50 moving average and reacted down. We finally got above it. So let's look to come back down and test it. If I don't see a good opportunity with some of these, sometimes I just don't get in. There's so many stocks to look at that I'm just not in favor of chasing them when. So the time to get in on some of these is, like I say, with this TK cross here, and look for that to hold. For long-term trends, I look at the cloud. So now that we've gotten above the cloud, I like to see a pullback and stay above the cloud. MicroStrategy, Bitcoin related stock. Possible failed breakout here. We're trying to get above the cloud. Pretty long flat bottom of a thick red cloud here. Sort of a difficult area. So you could speculate. You see these lower highs. This is still indicative of a downtrend here. 200 moving average offers some support here. So to really get a good idea of where Bitcoin related stock is going, it's good to look at a Bitcoin chart. And when I look at the Bitcoin chart, I see some technical problems here. This is a 50 moving average. We have a downtrending 50 moving average, downtrending cloud, and also I'm seeing this as consolidation, and we have some support areas here. So so I'm really not in favor of this forming a new uptrend just yet. I think we're going to react to these downtrending indicators and come down and test here again. If this area does break, then we're looking at more downside. All right, I'm going to wrap this up for now. I hope that helps.